Hey, it's Shawn Casemore here with another one of our videos on how to get new customers now. I titled this video to talk about how to get in front of distracted customers. I've talked about this before, but in today's day and age and what's happening here today, obviously a lot of people are distracted, right? They're moving their offices from being in person to virtual. There's a lot going on in the marketplace, right? And from a health perspective. So people are distracted, but there's still ways that you can break through to not only maintain relationships with your existing customers, but to find new customers. And the first step in all of that, you've heard me talk about repeatedly in these videos, is what do you have to offer your customers, both existing and potential, that is of value to them today? For example, potentially, and actually let's look at a good example here. But let's say you wash cars or you detail cars for a living. If you're to send out discount coupons on getting somebody's car cleaned, that might not come to mind right now. It might not be important. But if you shift that to say we can disinfect your car, and here's the price, that changes everything. So it's really thinking about what you offer today and putting in the context of what your customers are concerned about, what they're thinking about. If you'd like me to give you a personalized view of what this might look like for your business, make sure you can either leave a comment below or contact me directly, Shawn, SHAWN, at theuenetwork.com. So all that said, step one, make sure what you're offering is of value and important to people in today's business climate, okay? Let's assume you've done that. Let's assume what you're offering is of value. Then how do you get in front of distracted customers? Well, as you may have heard in my previous video, you don't send them email. Inboxes are full right now of pretty much every one of our clients, and myself included. I'm sure yours is as well. So email is not the way to go. What you want to do is connect with them where they're hanging out. So a lot of people are online right now, reading the news, right? Checking out their social networks like LinkedIn, for example. So can you connect with them on LinkedIn? Can you send them a message on LinkedIn? What can you do on the different social platforms? Maybe Facebook works based on your business, especially if you're in retail. So what are the social media platforms that your customers and potential customers are hanging out on? And how can you speak to them? How can you offer them value through those platforms? So again, if you're on Facebook, do you have a Facebook page that you could share information, updates, or how you're helping other customers? So don't go to email. Use the places that people are hanging out to get in front of them. Social media is one of the primary ways in today's environment. The other thing to think about is, what are they reading? Could you look at different magazines, especially online? There's so many different online blogs and magazines today that are in your sector or in your industry, and in turn provide information, provide resources, tips, or even an article or video to that online platform, which would in turn get you in front of your customers. Not only does it get you in front of them, but it actually makes you look like an expert because you're providing something through this third party. So again, if you take a look at, you probably actually know the publications or online resources that many of your customers use. They're dying for content right now because people are at home online consuming content nonstop. So they want more and more and more. So now's a great time to pitch these online platforms with an idea you have for an article, a blog, a video, you name it. As long as, again, it's valuable to the end customer and it's relevant to today, I'm sure they'll take you up on your offer. So that's the second way. You got to think about not only how to get in front of them from a conversational standpoint, but how to be in front of them so that everywhere they go, they're running into you. Online publishing of any kind is the way to go. But let's assume for a second you say, no, Shawn, that's not my thing. I don't like writing. I don't like doing video. Well, I'm going to suggest you need to change that, at least the video side of it, as times progress here, because that's all part of the evolution of what's going to happen as a result of current climate. But there are other things you can do. Look at this YouTube channel that I've got this video on today. By the way, if you're there, or if you're going to go there, hit the subscribe button and make sure you stay up to date. Look at all the videos that are here. I've created those videos over a series of maybe 4 to 5 weeks, but just by committing to doing a few tips every couple days that I share with everybody. If you start that, it will take time, but it's more apt that people will find you. So if you don't like writing, try doing some videos and starting your own YouTube channel. You can see from what I have on my channel, it's not rocket science. It's actually quite straightforward. Last but not least, what I want to share with you, if your customers are distracted, let's assume you've got in front of them, you've shared value in different ways to get their attention. It is also a good time to offer something that they can take advantage of now that's helpful to them, but in turn they can maybe pay for it or pay in part later. What do I mean by that? Well, Let's say if you're an accounting firm and you're finding people are so distracted, they're not sending you information to do their books. And obviously, in most countries today, all of the income tax has been delayed, right? So if you will, customers, your clients are not necessarily rushing to give you information to allow you to do their books and keep them going. So what can you do to incentivize them to do so? Well, you've got people available to work. Could you offer some sort of, and I dare say it, some sort of discount or incentive to get your customers to go ahead now? Here's an example of that. You know as well as I do that there's going to be a mad rush when things settle down to get bookwork done, to get income taxes done. So if you tell your customers, look, we've got capacity now, which means we can get this done faster for you. Maybe we can assign it to somebody who's a reduced rate and as a result give you a little bit of pricing on this, because there will be a mad rush in the next 4, 6, 8 weeks, whatever the case is, and we are going to be backed up and you are at risk of us not getting this process in time. So now's the time to send it, or maybe you send it now and we won't bill you for 6 to 8 weeks until this is all settled. So there's different ways you can approach this. It's not necessarily about reducing your price. It's about how can you keep the work flowing? How can you provide incentives to your customers to allow you to keep work flowing and continue to service them? The last thing you want to do is have a backlog of business in about 2 months' time, which I think is going to be the case for most, right? So you have to speak to your customer about that potential risk and how you can help them today. Hope you found these tips helpful. As always, you can stay connected with us at www.theuenetwork.com for more information, resources, and tools. Also, as I mentioned earlier, if you'd like to stay up to date on these videos, hit the subscribe button at the top. You'll be notified every single time we release one. I appreciate you joining us. I look forward to speaking with you again soon. Have a safe, healthy, and productive week. Take care.